everyone. Today is Friday, so that's the last day of our school week. And this school week was a week of stay-home days, and that's why I'm here at my house and you're there at your house. And let's look at our calendar. Yesterday was Thursday, March 26th. What comes after 26? 27. So today is Friday, March 27. I'm sing a new Days of the Week song. It goes like this. There's Sunday and there's Monday, there's Tuesday and there's Wednesday, there's Thursday and there's Friday, and then there's Saturday. Days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week, days of the week. Today's Friday, which means tomorrow will be the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Let's look at our seeds. I think this time I might not even have to take them out of the pots because you can see them growing so high. The cilantro is growing really tall, and the parsley, and the oregano is growing, not as quickly. And then the chives, I'm not sure what's happening with the chives. Sometimes seeds take a little longer, but they always come at their own time. And I can see just two little sprouts of chives. So we'll wait on the chives. They're taking their time. I wanted to also show you an experiment that we've been doing with some other seeds too, but this one is growing very quickly. It's a pea seed, and you can see the root growing down and the stem growing up, and there's even some little tiny leaves starting to grow on the top of the stem. So I'm going to plant this in the dirt. I'm going to put the root and the pea part in the dirt, and then the stem hopefully will continue to grow up, grow some new leaves, and then someday it will grow new peas, and inside each pea pod will be more seeds to grow new plants. It's called the life cycle. It's when it's a plant's whole life or an animal's whole life. So we'll be talking more about life cycles next week, learning about different animals and their life cycles and how they grow. But today I wanted to read this book called Planting a Rainbow by Lois Ehlert. Planting a Rainbow. Every year, my mom and I plant a rainbow. In the fall, we buy some bulbs and plant them in the ground. We've already did some different colors. Looks like there's orange tiger lily bulb, a red tulip bulb, an orange tulip bulb, a yellow daffodil bulb, a blue hyacinth bulb, purple crocus corm, and a purple bearded iris rhizome. We order seeds from catalogs and wait all winter long. All those different colored flowers. Got marigold and daisy, cornflower, aster, zinnia, morning glory. Looks like phlox. For spring to warm the soil and sprout the bulbs. Look at that. You can already see the rainbow starting to grow. Then it's time to go to the garden center to select some seedlings. Seedlings are baby plants. We sow the seeds and set out the plants in soil. Sow the seeds. That means they plant the seeds. And watch the rainbow grow. And grow and grow. All those colors. We have some red flowers. They've got tulips, carnations, and a rose. Red flowers. And orange flowers. We have orange tulips, zinnias, poppies, tiger lilies. And some yellow blooms. Got a daisy, marigold. I don't know what this one is. Daffodils. We grow something green. Those are ferns. And some blue flowers. There's morning glories, hyacinth, cornflowers, delphinium, pretty blue. And last, and some purple flowers too. Got crocus and a phlox and violets and asters and pansies and an iris. All summer long we pick them and bring them home. And when summer's over, we know we can grow our rainbow again next year. Would you like to grow a rainbow in your garden? Sounds like fun. All right, today's song next in our songbook is Baby Beluga. And actually, this is one that I like to play with Alan, so I think I'll wait and I'll play it with Alan in a little bit. There was another book I wanted to read today called Bumble Bear and the Garden Party. And this is a fiction story. As you can see, there's a bear wearing clothes. The bear's talking. I know that that's fiction. But this is a good book. It's written by James Hoffman, illustrated by John Sanford. Bumble Bear, the Garden Party. Bumble Bear loved honey. But despite scheme after scheme and plan after plan, the honey shelves in his cottage were empty. His wife, Gwendolyn, and his cubs, Wear and Tear, often smiled to themselves over his bumbling efforts to get honey for the shelves. One morning at breakfast, Bumble Bear sat staring into an empty honey jar. Gwendolyn was looking out the window when she turned and said to Wear and Tear, "Today you can help me plant flowers in my garden." "I thought you already planted strawberries," said Tear. "I thought you planted raspberries too," said Wear. "I did," said Gwendolyn, "but the berry blossoms need to be pollinated. If I plant a lot of flowers, the bees will come and give us their help." Bumble Bear's head snapped up. "Bees," he said. "Bees," he continued thinking. "Where bees are, honey is. Right here on Honey Hill Farm." A plan formed in his honey-tracked mind. "I'll plant my own garden," he mumbled. "The bees will love me. They'll thank me, too. With honey." He smiled as he thought of eating honey all day long. That day, Wear and Tear and Gwendolyn Bear began working in the garden, patiently planting flowers. Gwendolyn made Bumble Bear work too. He dug and hoed under the hot sun. "Gardens are a lot of work," he grumbled. "There must be an easier way." As the sun set, Gwendolyn said to her cubs, "Thank you for all your help today. This garden will be as pretty as a picture." At that moment, Bumble Bear stumbled onto another sweet idea. Pictures, he thought. Back in his study, Bumble Bear worked feverishly with his paints. He painted a wildflower, one flower, which took him a very long time. There must be an easier way, he thought. Then he smiled and got a stack of Gwendolyn's gardening magazines. His scissors flew until he had a stack of brightly colored flower pictures. He sang to himself, pretty as a picture, ta-dee-ta-dum. Getting pictures of flowers. When morning came, Bumble Bear nailed all of his flower pictures on sticks. There were pictures of sunflowers, roses, peonies, marigolds, even orchids that would be set around his painted masterpiece, the wild wildflower. These will bloom all summer long, he thought as he worked. I'll never have to work in my garden again, and the bees will love them. Bumble Bear carried the flower pictures out to his garden and planted them. He plucked the red and the blue silk flowers from several vases Gwendolyn had in the house and planted them. The bright jumble of flowers could be seen from far away. All that summer, Wear and Tear and Gwendolyn Bear hoed and tilled, weeded and watered. Bumble Bear spent his time lying in the shade, listening to the hum of the bees and dreaming his honey dreams. Seems like there are more bees in the garden than ever, he thought happily. He watched the bees as they hovered around his garden, looking at the pictures before flying over to Gwendolyn's garden to continue their pollination work. Some days, Bumble Bear would tiptoe down to the beehive, which was bursting with honey. Honey dripped down the sides, and Bumble Bear would cautiously lick a little off. Delicious, he said. They're working extra hard, thanks to my inspiration. One evening, Gwendolyn showed Bumble Bear a tiny invitation sealed with beeswax. The bees are having a garden party tomorrow, said Gwendolyn. They've invited us and wish to thank us for our hard work this summer. At last, thought Bumble Bear. That night, Bumble Bear had sweet dreams of honey by the pot, by the barrel, by the wagon load, his honey due for a job well done. The next day, the Bear family dressed in flowery finery to attend the bees' garden party. The hive was beautifully decorated, and the meadow was filled with harmonious buzzing as the bees waited for their honored guests. Gwendolyn Bear received a flower vase that the bees had filled with honey, and Wear and Tear were given a shiny bucket holding a large honeycomb. Then it was Bumble Bear's turn. He stepped up, beaming, to receive his sweet reward. The bees flew to him, humming humorously now, and placed a picture of a honey jar in his anxiously awaiting paws. Bumble Bear looked very sadly at the picture, a symbol for real honey. His stomach grumbled, and his honey hopes crumbled. Gwendolyn Bear smiled gently and said, "A very pretty picture of honey, don't you think?" That night, Bumble Bear locked himself in his study, thinking and planning, with the picture of honey jar propped up in front of him. One of these days, I'll stumble onto something. I'll come up with a picture-perfect plan. What if... So he made pictures of flowers for the bees, but bees can't pollinate pictures. So in the end, they gave him a picture of honey. I wonder what his next plan will be. Well, I miss everyone, and I hope to see you soon. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend with your families, and that you get some fresh air, and that you are working and helping your parents at home. And I would love to hear from you, so I hope to talk to you soon. Okay, take care. Bye.